Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football. Some massive news for the UCLA Bruins coming out of the recruiting trail as four-star running back Karson Cox committing to UCLA. And when you dive into the film of a guy like Karson Cox, you see just a box checker at the running back position, right? He blends so many different skill sets together as a running back, runs extremely hard, deals with contact just about as good as any running back you'll see in the 2025 class, but then, also has that long speed, runs an 11.2 in the 100-meter dash. This is a running back that you can get utilized in so many different ways and really just checks so many boxes in terms of the traits you are looking for at that running back position. And talk about UCLA. Why did UCLA make the decision to bring in a guy like DeShaun Foster to take over this program, to inject energy into this program, to inject energy into a UCLA team that just kind of seemed lifeless a little bit under Chip Kelly during last year? That seems to be exactly what DeShaun Foster's been doing. And I think most importantly, you're going to see it show up on the recruiting trail in terms of building relationships with some of these high school kids. And DeShaun Foster really hitting the ground running over the last couple of months. Want to talk about Karson Cox, dive into the film, and then talk about some other names that UCLA is trending for on the recruiting trail before we get into it. And as always, just want to say thank you to you guys. And for this UCLA program, it's going to be a lot of fun to talk about this team over the next couple of months. A lot of commitments to break down. If y'all do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. And without further ado, let's get into Karson Cox. And let's start with, just flicking on the film and talking about what Karson Cox brings to the table for UCLA. And again, you're going to see him blend so many different skill sets at that running back spot. One, tremendous vision. He's a guy that, yes, he has elite short area quickness. He has elite burst, a very good straight line speed, but he is a downhill running back. He sees his holes. He hits it extremely hard. Cameraman, a little bit of sleep at the job right here, but this is what we kind of talk about, right? He is a big running back at 6'1", 190, probably plays around 200, 210 pounds. If you're a safety, you take a bad angle, Karson Cox is just going to run away from you. He has phenomenal straight line speed and has that ability to make those big plays anytime he touches the football. But I think more importantly, you see just absolutely silly contact balance in terms of what Karson Cox brings to the table. This is a guy that is extremely hard to bring to the ground, runs with some low pads. And again, you see the ability to hit that big play as well. And you continue to roll through the film. Natural pass catcher, which is extremely rare at that running back position. Not a very well thrown ball. Karson Cox going up, making a phenomenal play. When you have running backs that you can get utilized in that passing attack on linebackers in space, massive asset to this UCLA offense. Really, really good short area quickness. So you run that back, one, phenomenal vision. More importantly, getting in and out of his cuts so smooth. This is a guy that makes second level defenders miss. When he has that open turf, he is a guy that can absolutely let it rip. Has some really impressive off-ball linebacker film as well. And again, Karson Cox not necessarily going to play linebacker for UCLA, but it is nice to see a running back that plays linebacker and is a physical coming downhill. Again, coming out of the backfield, bad angles, he's going to make you miss. He's going to run through tackles, really good contact balance. Karson Cox is a guy that really does fire me up. And you take a look at what UCLA is doing on the trail. I mean, trending for one of the top quarterbacks in the country as well. And Big Mad and I think you guys remember that last name. Older brother was Nico coming out in the 2023 class. And you look at Madden, this is a guy that we haven't really seen at the high school level until his junior year, because he was backing up his older brother Nico during the high school level. He goes out his junior year, puts together a phenomenal season and, has a very similar set of traits to his older brother Nico, who is a 5-star in the 2023 class, a true, polished quarterback that can make every single throw that you're going to ask him to make on the football field. It is really nice to see UCLA making some inroads with some of the top talent in the state of California. And it goes back to why UCLA went with DeShaun Foster as their next head coach. This UCLA team was not recruiting nearly what it should have been doing for UCLA, especially over the last couple of years in the state of California. You bring in DeShaun Foster, to really inject some energy and get some buzz around this program, specifically on the recruiting trail. and it's taken him less than 6 months to really get it going for this UCLA program. You guys know I'm fired up about DeShaun Foster. Wanted to hop on, talk a little bit about what UCLA is doing on the recruiting trail. Appreciate you guys rocking with the fellas. If y'all do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. Appreciate you guys, and we'll talk to y'all